If you watched last week's video, you know it already was. You can see how happy it makes me to be here. Good afternoon. I am back here at Oktoberfest. As you can see, it is day 5 here. All the fun stuff was in last week's video, so if you didn't see that, go back and watch that. That's where all the fun of Oktoberfest was. But I'm here today. We had a free day for our final full day here. There was an optional Neuschwanstein Castles tour, but I went a few years ago, so I didn't go. So I decided to spend my last day getting lunch here at Oktoberfest. Not a lot going on today. After I get lunch, I'm just gonna head back to the hotel and pack because we have our flights home tomorrow. We have the farewell dinner tonight, which should be good. And this trip has been like such a fun group of people, so it's kind of sad to say goodbye already, but it should be like a good, fun final night. And then tomorrow we're flying home, and I will give you my full review of this trip and whether or not it was worth it. If you watched last week's video, you know it already was. You can see how happy it makes me to be here. So yeah, so let's go get some food and enjoy the last few hours here at Oktoberfest. Hello, I am home from Oktoberfest. I am recovered from all that drinking and all those liters of beer. So it's time to break down this trip and whether or not it was worth it. So I did the Oktoberfest with EF Ultimate Break. This is the Oktoberfest specific trip. I did the plus version. We only have one roommate. You stay in a hotel instead of a hostel. And overall, it was so fun. I 11 out of 10 recommend if you like to drink, have a good time, you want to go spend some time at the famous Oktoberfest and don't want to plan a thing. Yeah, loved it. The one thing about this trip is that it is short. It is only 6 days, and that includes the overnight flights and stuff. 4 nights once you finally get there, so only 3 actual full days in Munich, which is super short. Thankfully, I did this trip back to back with Iceland, which go back and watch those if you hadn't. 2 totally different trips, but so fun, and I'm so glad I extended. Even if you can only extend by like a few days, go somewhere else in Germany or around there. You can get to like Salzburg or like Vienna super easily. Some people were flying like to Amsterdam or like I think like Scotland or London on their layovers and just like extending there to make the jet lag and the flight time over there worth it. So I would definitely do that if you are booking this trip. That is the one thing. It is so short, it literally goes by in the blink of an eye. But other than that, it was incredible. So we had a super fun group for this trip. We had 36 people, which I thought would be like overwhelming to like get to know in 4 days, but honestly everyone's just there for a good time, so it's really quick. Everyone's like, you don't really learn names, or at least I didn't really learn names, but I knew like faces, and it was a ton of fun. Like you recognize everyone who's in your group pretty fast, so when you're like at the tents and at the tables and out like drinking and stuff, it's easy to know like who you're like with. The 36 people, I don't know how young the youngest person was. I know there was somebody who was 23. I don't know if anyone was younger than that, but the age range went all the way up to 35, which was a lot of fun. I'm in my late 20s. I thought I was gonna be like the old lady on this trip, which was fine with me. I didn't care, but there were so many people in their 30s that I hung out with the whole trip, and they were so fun. So don't feel like you're gonna go on this trip and be like the old person like I thought, when really I was like in the middle. And so I went on this trip by myself because none of my friends wanted to go to Oktoberfest, and I've been dying to go. So I was alone. There were a few other people that came alone, but most people did go on this trip with somebody, whether it was like a couple or some friends. Very few people came alone, which you would think would be like weird and stuff, or like all the solo people, single people would have to hang out, but no, everyone was so welcoming. All the couples were so nice. I even hung out with like friends who already knew each other, and it was a ton of fun. So don't be afraid to go on this trip by yourself. You will find people to hang out with. Everyone's just there for a good time and wants to socialize and drink and party and whatever. So whether you're going with a group of friends, your partner, or by yourself, it'll all be so fun. There was a little drama. I don't even know how to explain it all, but when everyone's drinking and you have so many personalities all together for just 4 days, it does get a little messy, so just keep that in mind. It was nothing crazy, but definitely some drama, which was unexpected for 3 days, but whatever. So we were there 4 nights. We were at the same hotel in Munich, Germany the whole time. We stayed at the Holiday Inn Express, Munich East. Overall, I thought it was really good. I love that we were like in one spot for 4 nights and we could like unpack our suitcases and all that stuff and we weren't moving around, especially when you're drinking and wake up maybe hungover. Might have done that once or twice. But overall, I liked it. They were decent sized rooms. Like I said, I was on the plus trip, so I only had one roommate. She was super nice. Loved her. And we had a lot of like room to like spread out our stuff. Like the bathroom was a good size and stuff. They had a really good breakfast, which was important. When you're drinking and you wake up and you're like, I just need some food. They had a huge variety of stuff. They even had pretzels, which was so German Oktoberfest of them. And it was so easy to get around the city. If you look at where we were on a map, we were quite east in the city, and Oktoberfest, the grounds are over here on the west side. So it looks kind of far, but it was actually so easy to get to. We were just a 10-minute walk from the metro, which had like 3 different lines running through it. And there was a bus stop right outside that would take you to the East train station, which had like all the subway lines, a bunch of connections. It was so easy to get anywhere. So since this was such a short trip, only 6 days, I'm just gonna go day by day and give you my thoughts and what we did and everything. So day 1 was just the overnight flight from North America. Easy peasy. You arrive on day 2. I arrived super early in the morning on an overnight train, and so I had the whole day to explore. So if you arrive early, you'll have a lot of time to go see the city, get lunch, whatever. And then at night, I think we started around like 6 something. We had our short welcome meeting with our tour director where he just gave us like the lowdown and stuff. And then we went to our welcome dinner, which was just a few train stops away. It was pretty good. I wasn't crazy about like the welcome dinner or the farewell dinner on this trip, but the food at Oktoberfest was really good. And so after that, we just went to a bar. I think it was like an Irish pub or something. Super chill first day. It was a good like intro to getting to know everyone before we started drinking too much. So on day 3, there was an included guiding walking tour at like 8 a.m. I think about half the group, maybe a little more, went. I didn't go. I've already toured Munich a couple times, so I decided to sleep and get ready for Oktoberfest. But I heard really good things about the walking tour. So if you have not been to Munich and you go on this trip, definitely do the walking tour. I also heard that they learned a lot of stuff specific to Oktoberfest, which was kind of cool. So some of the girls were like telling me stuff throughout the week that like I had no idea about. They got like some fun facts on the walking tour. So definitely do that if you have not been to Munich. And then at like 11:30 or something, we had our first table reservation at Oktoberfest. It was so good. We had the table for 3 hours and it was at the tent called Schoten Hamel, if I'm saying that correctly. So we were there for 3 hours and we got 2 beer tickets and a ticket for a half chicken, which was like our lunch. So that was nice to have that included, especially because a beer is like 15 euro. So, and then food was another like 15 or 20. So that saves you a lot of money. Like obviously you prepaid for that in the trip, but it was nice just to have that and like not have to worry about getting your food or your drink to start out with. And you could just like enjoy the first few hours. So after our table reservation was done, people just kind of went their own ways. There was a big group of us who went to another tent and had a great time. We were up on the benches singing, dancing, so fun. So if you have other stuff you want to do, you're done with your table reservation by like 3 something. If you want to go do rides, walk around the fest, if you want to go drink more, there's always going to be a group that wants to go do that. Go check out some of the other tents. So that was a super late night. We were up late drinking, so late. Barely got any sleep that night. But so after the table reservation, you're on your own until day 4, which is when you have another table reservation. So you have the morning free, thankfully. Me and one of the girls went to go rent dirndls, so we didn't have to wear the same ones because we each only brought one. And then we had another table reservation at noon. Plus we got 2 more beer tickets and another food ticket. This time we had the table for 4 hours and it was at Lowenbrau, which might be my favorite tent there. I think it's the one that just plays like English music, but it was a lot of fun to just be like up on the benches dancing, singing to like some of like the classic American songs. I know that's so American of me, but it was a ton of fun. So again, after our table reservation ended at like 4 something, we just had the night free. So again, we just went to another tent to go drink, check out the different vibes at the tent, spent some time there, and then me and one of the girls just went and did some rides. We got some dinner, like actually like explored the festival a little bit, which was a lot of fun. So that was day 4. All you really have is the table reservation. Then on day 5, you have the whole day free, or there is an optional excursion, which is to Neuschwanstein Castle, which is like the castle that inspired the Disney castle. Probably seen it like on social media and stuff. I've been, so I didn't go. I took the day free. I went back to Oktoberfest for lunch for a little bit and just to like experience it sober, which I was glad I did. About half the group went on the optional castle tour. That cost $120. If you haven't been, I definitely recommend it, but just something to keep in mind that this time of year, like late September, maybe not the best weather to go. So they did not really have good weather, and could not see very much like at the viewpoint to see the castle, but they said like the inside was cool and stuff, which it is. So just something to to keep in mind about the castle if you're going this time of year. And then we just had the farewell dinner. It was fine. The options were like a vegetarian dish, a half chicken again, which we had at lunch both days, or 2 meatballs. And I got the 2 meatballs thinking they would be like decent sized meatballs. No, they were like normal sized meatballs. So I was starving after the farewell dinner. So yeah, it was fine. And then on day 6, we just had to fly home, which was so sad. I absolutely love this trip. I probably could have done a couple more days in Munich, even though it would have been like way too expensive, because it is a very expensive time to be there. Overall, love the trip. Definitely extend though if you can to make that flight over there worth it, so you're not just there for 4 nights. The last thing I want to talk about is spending. So I broke down my spending just so you can get a good idea of what kind of money you need to budget for Oktoberfest. And again, like our hotel and like some of the drinks and our 2 dinners were included with the cost of the trip. So this is just like what I spent extra, and I didn't really like budget for this one. So I just kind of spent what I wanted to spend and made the most of it. So on food and drinks that I bought not at Oktoberfest, which includes beer, coffee, a couple meals, I spent €71 or $83. And then at the fest, which includes many beers, 1 ride, some small souvenirs, and some food, I spent €87 or $102. Obviously the beer at Oktoberfest is expensive. It's like €15 plus tip. You just hand them a €20, at least in 2025. But I didn't think that the food was expensive. It is kind of expensive in the tents, but if you go outside the tents and just go to a booth, honestly, I didn't think it was crazy. I spent like less than $10 or around $10 for each meal that I did outside the tent. So don't be afraid to like eat there. And just some other spending that I had, I spent €10 on a metro ticket on the first day I got there, since I had the whole day to explore and I wasn't just gonna sit in the hotel. I spent €21 on an Uber, €48 on a dirndl rental for 1 day. So I brought one from home, like I ordered it ahead of time. And then for the second day we were at the fest, I did a 1 day rental. It was super easy. I would definitely recommend it. And then I spent €30 on tips. So €109 on other stuff, or $128. So total on spending at the festival, outside the festival, other stuff for like say 5 days. One was kind of just at the airport, but 5 days, 4 nights, I spent €267 or $313, which wasn't crazy, I don't think, considering a lot of that was just on like beer, because that's what Oktoberfest is. And just something to keep in mind with the spending, Munich is a very cash focused city. So almost all that I spent was cash. To take out all of your euro, like before you get to Oktoberfest, get a lot of cash and a lot of 20s if you're going to be drinking a lot of beer in the tents. But yeah, I don't think that was crazy spending considering like a lot of that is on alcohol. But yeah, that was Oktoberfest. I absolutely loved it. Definitely would recommend if you're gonna do the EF trip. I would definitely do the Oktoberfest focused one. They have other trips that go to like Germany, Italy, Switzerland, or like Berlin, Munich. I would definitely do the Oktoberfest focused one, since you get a few days there, and the other ones I think only give you 1. And definitely do the plus trip, because you are going to appreciate only having 1 roommate in a nice hotel when it comes time to rest after drinking. So that is all I have. If it wasn't clear already, I definitely recommend this trip. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you come back next week, because I will be on the completely opposite side of the world in Southeast Asia. I cannot wait. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you next week. Prost!